The hospital room smelled of antiseptic, and the hum of fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. I'm Sarah Mitchell, 35, a single mom lying in a bed at Willow Creek Community Hospital in rural Oregon. My 3-year-old twins, Liam and Ava, played with blocks in the corner, their giggles a stark contrast to the pain radiating through my chest. It was New Year's Eve, and I was waiting for an emergency procedure to address a heart arrhythmia that had spiraled out of control. My phone buzzed with a video call from my mother. I braced myself, hoping for support. "Don't you dare ask us to cancel our plans again." Mom's voice boomed through the screen. "We've had these Hawaii vacation tickets for months." Her words hit harder than the chest pain. My parents, Linda and Greg, had always put their desires first. My younger brother, Ryan, 28, was their pride and joy, a tech startup star who could do no wrong. Me? I was the overlooked one. The one who'd been sending them $3,000 a month since they retired early 5 years ago, even after my husband, Tom, died in a workplace accident 8 months prior. The pain in my chest intensified, like a vice squeezing my heart. Nurse Hannah, a kind woman in her 40s, adjusted my IV with a sympathetic glance. My twins were too young to understand why Mommy was hooked to machines, but they'd already lost their dad. The thought of them losing me, too, was unbearable. I'd called my parents as a last resort, begging them to watch Liam and Ava during my procedure. Dad's response was a knife to the gut. "You're always so dramatic, Sarah. We're not missing our trip for your little health scare." I'd been supporting them financially out of love, believing family stuck together. But here I was, possibly facing my last days, and they couldn't miss a vacation to care for their grandchildren. Tears stung my eyes as Hannah squeezed my hand. "I know a social worker, Maria, who's great with kids in tough situations," she offered. "Let me call her." The weight of my parents' indifference crushed me. I thought of Tom, who'd always said, "We'll make our own family, one that knows how to love." We'd built that, a cozy home filled with warmth, until his accident shattered it. Now, alone, I faced a truth I'd avoided for years. My parents saw me as a burden, not a daughter. As Hannah dialed Maria, I grabbed my phone with trembling hands. Memories flooded back, my high school valedictorian speech ignored because Ryan won a coding competition the same day. My wedding to Tom dismissed because it was too rustic for their taste. The twins' first birthday, when they sent a card but never visited, claiming they were too busy. I'd been foolish, thinking my sacrifices would earn their love. "Yes, please call her," I told Hannah, my voice steady despite the pain. Then I opened my banking app and canceled the next $3,000 transfer to my parents. With that click, I began severing the toxic ties that had bound me to a family who never truly saw me. As the nurses prepped me for the procedure, a strange calm settled over me. I was terrified, but for the first time, I felt free. The heart monitor beeped steadily as I lay in my bed at Willow Creek Community Hospital. I'm Sarah Mitchell, 35, recovering from an emergency procedure for a heart arrhythmia. My 3-year-old twins, Liam and Ava, were with Maria, the social worker nurse Hannah had called on New Year's Eve. Maria had swooped in like a guardian angel, her calm demeanor soothing the twins as they clutched their toys, confused, but safe. My chest ached from the surgery, but the real pain came from my parents' betrayal. I'd canceled the $3,000 monthly transfer I'd been sending them, a decision that felt like cutting off a piece of my own history. The next morning, my phone lit up with notifications. 17 missed calls from Mom and Dad, plus a flurry of texts. Mom's first message was laced with confusion. "Sarah, the bank says the payment didn't go through. What's going on?" Dad's was sharper. "This is unacceptable. Fix it now." Not one asked about my surgery or the twins. I stared at the screen, my hands shaking. How had I spent years supporting people who couldn't even check if I was alive? Maria returned with Liam and Ava, who ran to me, their tiny arms wrapping around my neck. "Mommy okay?" Ava asked, her big eyes searching mine. I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. Maria, a warm woman in her 30s with a knack for kids, had stayed overnight at my small rental house with them. "They're doing great," she assured me. "But Sarah, you need to focus on healing. I can help for a few days, no charge." Her kindness was overwhelming, a stark contrast to my parents' indifference. As Maria colored with the twins, memories of my childhood flooded back. I was always the invisible one. When I won a regional art contest at 16, my parents skipped the ceremony because Ryan had a tech fair. When I got my graphic design degree, they barely called. Too busy celebrating Ryan's first startup pitch. Even when Tom and I welcomed the twins, they visited once, complaining the drive from their coastal condo was too much. Tom had been my anchor, promising we'd create a family that valued us. His death 8 months ago in a construction accident left me adrift, yet I kept sending money to my parents, hoping they'd finally see me. Now, in the hospital, I saw the truth. They'd never change. I'd been pouring my love and my savings into a void. The $3,000 I sent monthly had covered their condo payments and weekend getaways while I struggled with medical bills and childcare costs after Tom's limited insurance ran out. Canceling that payment wasn't just financial, it was a declaration of my worth. By day 3, my parents' messages turned hostile. Dad's voicemail was venomous. "You're selfish, Sarah. We're retired. We need that money." Mom's texts pleaded, then accused. "How could you do this to us? Ryan says you're just jealous of his success." My brother Ryan hadn't even called. I wondered if he knew the full story or if my parents had spun a lie, as they always did, to keep him on their side. Hannah, the nurse, checked my chart and noticed my tension. "Family drama?" she asked gently. I nodded, spilling the story of their refusal to watch the twins during my surgery. Her eyes widened. "You deserve better," she said. "Maria's connected to a local support group for single parents. Want me to get you their info?" I agreed, feeling a spark of hope. Maybe I wasn't as alone as I thought. As I drifted in and out of sleep, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was Ryan. "Mom says you're mad about something minor and cut them off. What's up?" His casual tone stung. Did he really think my emergency surgery was minor? I didn't reply, too exhausted to explain, but my parents weren't done. A new text from Dad arrived. "You're forcing us to cancel our Hawaii trip. We'll be at your place when you're discharged to sort this out." The threat loomed like a storm cloud. I clutched Liam's stuffed dinosaur left on my bed and steeled myself. They could come, but I was done bending. I'm Sarah Mitchell, 35, and it's been 5 days since my heart surgery at Willow Creek Community Hospital in rural Oregon. The pain in my chest is fading, but the sting of my parents' betrayal lingers. I'd canceled the $3,000 monthly payments I'd been sending them, a lifeline they'd taken for granted while refusing to watch my 3-year-old twins, Liam and Ava, during my emergency. As I sat in my hospital bed, Maria, the social worker, played with the twins, her presence a godsend. My phone buzzed relentlessly. More messages from my parents, Linda and Greg, now a mix of anger and desperation. Not one asked about my health or the kids. My brother, Ryan, 28, finally texted again. "Sarah, why are you ghosting Mom and Dad? They said you're overreacting about some routine checkup." Routine? The word burned. My parents had lied to him, downplaying my life-threatening arrhythmia to justify their Hawaii vacation. I typed a response, my fingers trembling. "Ryan, I had emergency heart surgery. They chose a trip over watching Liam and Ava. I'm done." I hit send, my heart pounding harder than it had since the procedure. Memories of being sidelined flooded back. At 10, I'd won a state spelling bee, but my parents missed it for Ryan's robotics camp. When I launched my graphic design business, they shrugged it off, obsessed with Ryan's startup funding. Even when Tom died 8 months ago, they sent a condolence card but never visited, claiming they were swamped with Ryan's product launch. I'd kept sending them money, hoping for love that never came. Now I saw it clearly. I was their ATM, not their daughter. Maria handed me a pamphlet for a single-parent support group, recommended by Nurse Hannah. "They meet online so you can join from home," she said. "You're not alone, Sarah." Her words sparked hope, but my parents' next move tested it. A group text from Mom arrived, addressed to our extended family. "Sarah's cut us off without warning, leaving us in financial ruin. Please talk sense into her." No mention of my surgery or their refusal to help. The audacity made my blood boil. I called my lawyer friend Emma to protect my kid's future. "I need a will," I told her. "If anything happens to me, the twins go to my friend Claire, not my parents." Emma agreed to draft it, and I felt a weight lift. I also redirected the $3,000 I'd sent monthly to a savings account for childcare and medical bills. For the first time, I was prioritizing myself and my kids. Ryan called an hour later, his voice shaken. "Sarah, is it true about the surgery? Mom and Dad said it was just a checkup." I recounted the truth. Their refusal, the twins' confusion, my fear of not waking up. He was silent, then whispered, "I didn't know. I'm so sorry." He promised to talk to them, but I wasn't holding my breath. Ryan had been their golden child, blind to their manipulation. That evening, my parents called again, this time via speakerphone. "Sarah, this is ridiculous," Dad barked. "You can't just cut us off. We're selling our vacation condo to cover the mortgage because of you." I laughed bitterly. "You made your choices. I'm making mine." I hung up, my hands steady. Their condo, their trips, their lifestyle. They'd built it on my sacrifices, not their own merit. The next day, I joined the support group's Zoom call from my hospital room. Faces of other single parents, each with their own struggles, filled the screen. One, a widower named Mark, shared how he'd rebuilt after losing his wife. "You find your people," he said. "Not always blood." His words resonated. Maria, Claire, even the hospital staff, they were becoming my family. As I prepared for discharge, a new message from Mom popped up. "We're posting on Facebook about how you abandoned us. Everyone will know the truth." Their truth was a lie, but I wasn't afraid anymore. I was building a life for me and my twins, one where we weren't afterthoughts. Let them post. I had my own story to tell. I'm Sarah Mitchell, 35, and it's been 2 weeks since my heart surgery at Willow Creek Community Hospital in rural Oregon. I'm home now, in our small rental house, with my 3-year-old twins, Liam and Ava, napping in their room. The incision still aches, but I'm healing, physically and emotionally. Cutting off the $3,000 monthly payments to my parents, Linda and Greg, was like shedding chains. They'd chosen a Hawaii vacation over watching my kids during my emergency, and their betrayal lit a fire in me to rebuild my life. But their latest move, a public Facebook post accusing me of abandoning them, tested my resolve. The post was vicious. Sarah turned her back on her family, leaving us destitute after we sacrificed everything for her. No mention of my surgery or their refusal to help. My phone buzzed with messages from cousins and aunts, some confused, others judgmental. I didn't respond. Instead, I leaned on my new support network. Maria, the social worker, came by daily to help with the twins, refusing payment. "You're family now," she said, braiding Ava's hair while Liam built a block tower. Her kindness felt like a lifeline. The single-parent support group I'd joined via Zoom became my anchor. Mark, the widower who'd shared his story, messaged me privately. "Don't let their lies define you. Focus on your kids." He was right. I'd redirected the $3,000 I used to send my parents to cover Maria's part-time help and rebuild my emergency fund, drained after Tom's death 8 months ago. For the first time, I could breathe financially. My brother Ryan, 28, called again. He'd confronted our parents after learning they'd lied about my routine checkup. I told them they were wrong, he said, his voice heavy. They admitted they didn't think your surgery was serious. I'm sorry I believed them. I appreciated his words but kept my guard up. Ryan had been their golden child, shielded from their selfishness. Still, he offered to visit, and I agreed to a short coffee meetup, curious if he was sincere. My neighbors stepped up in ways I never expected. Mrs. Carter, a retiree next door, dropped off a lasagna, saying, "You don't have to do this alone, dear." Another neighbor, a single dad named Javier, offered to take the twins to the park with his son. Their gestures, small but steady, built a sense of community I'd never known with my own family. The support group organized a play date via Zoom, and watching Liam and Ava giggle with other kids warmed my heart. I wasn't just surviving. I was finding my people. Financially, things were looking up. My graphic design clients were patient, letting me work reduced hours remotely. I'd also started a side project, designing digital memory books for grieving families, inspired by one I'd made for Tom. A support group member hired me for her late mother's memorial, and word was spreading. The $3,000 I'd saved each month felt like freedom, letting me invest in my kids and myself. But my parents weren't done. Ryan texted me a screenshot of their latest post. "Sarah's selfishness is tearing our family apart." Comments from distant relatives piled on, some calling me ungrateful. Then came a voicemail from Dad. "We had to sell our vacation condo because of you. We're coming to your place tomorrow to talk sense into you." The audacity floored me. They'd lived beyond their means, counting on my money, and now blamed me for their choices. I called my lawyer friend Emma to reinforce my boundaries. She'd finalized my will, naming my friend Claire as the twins' guardian if anything happened to me. "You're doing the right thing," Emma said. "Focus on your healing." That evening, Ryan came over. He looked different, less cocky, more grounded. "I saw the posts," he admitted. "They're wrong, Sarah. I told them to stop, but they're panicking. They might lose the house next." I nodded, unsurprised. Their condo sale wasn't enough. They'd burned through savings on luxuries, expecting me to bail them out. As Ryan played with the twins, I saw a glimpse of the brother I'd hoped for. "I want to be here for you and the kids," he said. "Not like them." His words felt genuine, but trust would take time. That night, I lay awake, bracing for my parents' visit. Their desperation was growing, but so was my strength. I wasn't the daughter they'd walked over anymore. I was a mother, building a life where love wasn't a transaction. I'm Sarah Mitchell, 35, a single mom in rural Oregon, 6 weeks post-heart surgery from a life-threatening arrhythmia. My small rental house is my sanctuary, where my 3-year-old twins, Liam and Ava, fill the air with laughter. Cutting off the $3,000 monthly payments to my parents, Linda and Greg, was like reclaiming my life. They'd chosen a Hawaii vacation over watching my kids during my emergency, and their public Facebook posts, accusing me of abandoning them, only deepened the rift. But I'm not alone anymore. My new community, from social worker Maria to my single-parent support group, has my back. This morning, I was sipping coffee when a knock rattled my door. Through the peephole, I saw my parents, Linda clutching her scarf, Greg's face set in a familiar scowl. My heart raced, but I opened the door a crack. "What do you want?" I asked, voice steady. "Sarah, we're worried," Mom began, her tone syrupy. "You've shut us out." Greg cut in. "We sold the vacation condo because of you, and now the bank's threatening foreclosure on our house. We need $120,000 to save it." I almost laughed. No questions about my recovery or the twins. just money. You made your choices, I said. I'm done funding them. Greg's face reddened. We raised you. You owe us. I stepped back, gripping the door. Oh, you. You couldn't watch Liam and Ava when I might have died. You didn't even call to check on us. Mom's eyes teared up, but I'd seen her crocodile tears before. We made one mistake, she whispered. Don't punish us forever. One mistake? I countered. You missed my art shows, my graduation, my wedding. You visited the twins once, said they were too loud. I sent you money for years while grieving Tom, and you chose a vacation over my kids. Their silence was deafening. Liam toddled over, clutching his toy truck. Mom reached for him, cooing, There's my grandbaby. He hid behind me, unsure. They don't know you, I said. You chose that. I closed the door, heart pounding but calm. My life was transforming. My digital memory book business, inspired by Tom's memorial, was growing. 3 new clients this week. The $3,000 I'd saved monthly covered Maria's part-time help and let me save for a bigger place. The support group introduced me to Lisa, a realtor and single mom who lost her partner to illness. She was helping me find an affordable home with a yard for the twins. My neighbors kept showing up. Mrs. Carter with cookies, Javier with playdate invites. I'd built a family, not of blood, but of care. Ryan, my brother, was stepping up too. After learning our parents lied about my minor surgery, he'd visited twice, playing with the twins and apologizing for his past blindness. I'm done defending them, he said last night. They're selling their boat to cover debts, but they're still blaming you. I shrugged. Their financial mess, fueled by a boat and lavish trips, wasn't my burden anymore. Then came a shock. Ryan forwarded a letter from Mom, handwritten, delivered to his apartment. Dear Sarah, it read, I've been a selfish mother. Watching you thrive without us made me see my failures. When you needed us during your surgery, we chose ourselves. I'm sorry. No plea for money, just regret. I showed Ryan, skeptical. Is this real? I asked. He nodded. They're in therapy. My idea. Dad's resistant, but Mom's trying. He had a health scare. High blood pressure. It's shaken them. I wasn't ready to forgive, but the letter stirred something. That evening, my parents texted again, desperate. The bank gave us 30 days to avoid foreclosure. Please, Sarah, help us. Their audacity, expecting me to save them after everything, hardened my resolve. I replied, Sell your assets. I'm focusing on my kids. Lisa called later, excited about a 3-bedroom house in a family-friendly neighborhood. It's within your budget, she said. A fresh start. As I tucked Liam and Ava into bed, their soft snores filled me with purpose. My parents' world was crumbling, but mine was rising. I'm Sarah Mitchell, 35, a single mom in rural Oregon, 3 months past my heart surgery. My twins, Liam and Ava, now 3, chase each other in the backyard of our new 3-bedroom house. A dream made possible by Lisa, my realtor friend from the single parents support group. Cutting off the $3,000 monthly payments to my parents, Linda and Greg, after they prioritized a Hawaii vacation over my kids during my emergency, was the hardest but best decision I've made. Their public attacks on Facebook claiming I abandoned them couldn't shake the life I've built, a life where love isn't a transaction. My parents faced foreclosure and sold their house, downsizing to a modest apartment. My brother, Ryan, 28, kept me updated. They sold the boat and their luxury SUV, he said during a visit, pushing Ava on a swing. They're living simpler now, but they still blame you. I nodded, unbothered. Their choices, splurging on vacations and a second mortgage while relying on my money, weren't my responsibility. My new community proved family isn't just blood. Mrs. Carter, my neighbor, brought muffins weekly. Javier's son joined Liam and Ava for playdates. The support group, especially Mark and Lisa, became my rock, sharing stories of resilience that mirrored mine. My digital memory book business, inspired by my late husband Tom's memorial, was thriving. 5 new clients this month meant I could cut back on graphic design work and focus on what gave me purpose. The $3,000 I'd saved monthly covered our new mortgage, less than my old rent, and Maria's part-time childcare. For the first time since Tom's death 8 months ago, I felt hope, not just survival. Ryan had become a real brother. He visited weekly, building forts with the twins. "I see Mom and Dad clearly now," he admitted one evening. "They manipulated us both, but I was too spoiled to notice." His honesty bridged years of distance. When Mom's handwritten apology arrived, expressing regret for failing me during my surgery, I'd been skeptical. Ryan confirmed they were in therapy, grappling with their selfishness. Dad's recent blood pressure scare had humbled him, but I wasn't ready to trust their change. Then they requested a meeting. I chose a quiet park bench, neutral ground, with Ryan watching the twins nearby. My parents looked different. Greg's shoulders slumped, Linda in plain clothes, no designer scarves. "Sarah," Greg started, his voice breaking. "I've been a terrible father. I see it now, how we leaned on you without giving back." Linda nodded, eyes wet. "Therapy is showing us how we hurt you. We don't expect forgiveness, but we're sorry." They shared their changes. Greg worked part-time at a hardware store. Linda sold her jewelry. No pleas for money, just accountability. I didn't rush to embrace them. "Words aren't enough," I said. "The twins deserve people who show up. If you want a relationship, it's on my terms. Short, supervised visits, proving you respect us." They nodded, no arguments. As we parted, Linda whispered, "We're proud of you, Sarah." I didn't need their pride anymore, but it felt like a crack in the wall between us. Back home, I tucked Liam and Ava into bed, their giggles echoing. My phone pinged. A new memory book order from a support group friend. Lisa texted about a neighborhood barbecue, and Ryan planned to bring the twins' favorite ice cream tomorrow. I looked at a photo of Tom on the mantel, his smile a reminder of the family we'd dreamed of. I'd lost him, cut ties with my parents, yet found more love than I'd ever known. My boundaries held strong, my worth undeniable. Whether my parents could truly change was their journey. Mine was clear. A mother, fierce and free, surrounded by a chosen family that saw us.